Bills preseason action, week 2, wraps up, and it is late, folks. It is 1:33 a.m. Eastern Time, and my voice is hoarse from cheering, laughing, having a great time tonight with a few friends watching the game. And I gotta say this, and I hate to say it. I actually don't. I don't hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it. I told you so. I told you so. And I'm not saying I told you so like I told you so. I'm always right about everything. I'm the man, the myth, the legend. That's all true. But I told you so. And it's frustrating because for as many supporters that are out there, for as many people that follow the show and say, hey man, you're doing a great job, you're doing great, really enjoy your show, people buying the merchandise, which I really didn't expect to do that well, and it did. That really took me by surprise. Pleasantly, obviously. There's people out there that, there's haters. And as my man Brian Foles says, if you don't have any haters, then you're not doing anything right. And I agree with that. But there are times where it's like, can I get my due now? Can you see me now type thing? Brock Lesnar in the octagon after he starched Heath Herring. Can you see me now? Can I get a moment of just good call on that one? Good job, buddy. There's been a lot of that these last 2 years on this show in terms of stuff that I have gone out on a limb and predicted. And it's usually become reality. And it's because I have inside knowledge and follow this team with such a close eye that I understand how these guys think. Whether it's Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott from a psychological standpoint, from a just all-encompassing standpoint of how they believe they're building this team and how they're going to actually put the X's and O's of it together. And 2 years ago, I looked through the quarterback class, as I always do. I saw this guy from Pitt playing against Clemson. I thought, this guy is special. He's something. There's something there, maybe third, fourth, maybe fifth. Thought to myself, literally, and said on the show, if this guy is anything but a fourth, he's a steal. If he's anything later than a fourth, he's an absolute steal, were my exact words. And they were live on this podcast, audio. You can check it out on the Thomas Take Sports podcast. The episode is literally titled Nathan Peterman Draft Day Steal, ? And I talked about how he'd be a great fit for the Buffalo Bills. And you fast forward a year later, we're in this deep debate, me and, a few hundreds of people on Twitter about which quarterback the Buffalo Bills should get. So I go live on the air and kind of discuss who I think they should go after. And I threw out Josh Allen based on the fact that this guy's got unreal athleticism, unreal arm strength, is smart with the football, but takes chances that are needed when necessary. And I thought he'd be a great fit here. Underdog, had to play 2 years of community college football in college and then transferred to Wyoming. And if you really think about it, the fact that Josh Allen put the program of Wyoming football, Wyoming Cowboys football on the map, really proved a lot to me that this guy has done almost more in a way than some of the others. Josh Rosen didn't have to put UCLA on his back. The program's already established. Sam Darnold sure as hell didn't have to put the USC program on his back. The program's already established. Lamar Jackson, Louisville. Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma. Josh Allen, Wyoming. This guy had just as much pressure in that situation because he's building a program from the depths of nothing into something and thrived in that situation. Where there's some games where things didn't go well, where his numbers exactly what people wanted to see, and a number that got thrown at me today, actually. Good buddy of mine, Ethan Randall. I'll name drop him. He and it's valid. He said, well, Josh Allen's completion percentage is 56% in college. I said, show me Brett Favre's. And we'll just stop there. These things that some people analyze, and I'm not saying that they're wrong for it, but in a way, I mean, in hindsight, in this case, I believe they were. Things people analyze that really don't have much to do about anything in terms of whether this guy is going to be a true NFL quarterback or not. Looking at his collegiate completion percentage, that doesn't quantify whether he is or whether he isn't. There's been some guys that have not been that great in college, and they make it to the pros, and they're better players. The speed of the game being faster actually helps their case. I can make a case for Russell Wilson in that. Russell Wilson wasn't this stud college quarterback. Russell Wilson was a guy that really fit the mold of a fast-paced quarterback that could run up and down the field with the offense by his side. He didn't have that ability that he has now in college. Either he did and it wasn't seen, or maybe it wasn't willing to be seen. And that's what I believe for Josh Allen. There's so many people that are probably kicking themselves in college football, that were probably kicking themselves in college football when they knew that this guy put himself in first-round pick territory in the conversation of being a top 10 pick, the conversation of being the first overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. Let's not forget that, guys and girls. That was 4 months ago. You had guys like Mel Kiper saying that this guy should be the first overall pick. Now, Mel Kiper says a lot of dumb things, but that was not one of them. It's a team that is picking with the number one overall pick, the Cleveland Browns. I'm sure they kicked the tires on Josh Allen. I'm sure they kicked the tires on Sam Darnold. I'm sure they kicked the tires on Josh Rosen and Jackson. They kicked the tires on all of them to find out what their draft strategy was going to be. You watch the game tonight, and, I mean, the face mask penalty led Buffalo to continue that drive tonight. But the confidence is there. The arm talent is there. The accuracy is there. Remember that? Remember when everybody was telling me how inaccurate he was? I sure do. Everybody was saying he has accuracy issues. I sure remember that. Watch his pro day. You see that he's much more refined. You see that his drop back is cleaner. You see that his ability to look over the field and find the open guy. It's obviously his pro day, but they ran him through exercises of throwing it to a guy on a fast twitch throw. You know, saying left or right or middle. He's moving high feet in the pocket, throwing that ball on a rope to whichever receiver they were telling him to throw the ball to. If that's not accuracy at the numbers, where the numbers would be in that situation, then I don't know what we're talking about here. We're not talking about the same thing anymore. I put out my 2018 NFL mock draft, 32 picks in 32 days. It was the third season, actually, of that show, that segment, which I'll be bringing back next year, of course. And we get to 12th overall at the time, and I had Buffalo taking Josh Allen with the 12th pick. The fact they needed to move up from 12 to 7 meant that he was in demand. Why was he in demand? People noticed his refined passing game at his pro day. That was well noticed. That was seen. But I told you so. I mean, I went to bat for this kid. I had arguments with people on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and There's still some haters out there. There's still some people that don't believe. There's still some people out there that think that they gave up, quote unquote, too much, but yet those same people that believe that they gave up, quote unquote, too much to get Josh Allen were the same people on Twitter saying that they need to do, quote, whatever it takes, end quote, to get the quarterback that they want. So they go out and do that. They do whatever it takes to get the quarterback that they want, and they don't give up a first next year or a second next year to do so. But if it's not the guy that they wanted, if it's not Darnold or Rosen, then it's not good enough. No, you asked for the Bills to go out and get the guy that they wanted, the guy that they truly believed would be the guy to lead this franchise for the next 15 years. They go out, they get that guy that they believe can do so, and then you have a problem with it? It doesn't work that way, whether you're a fan or not. It doesn't work that way. You can't pick and choose. You're either for the team or you're against the team. If you want to hop off the bandwagon, feel free. If you want to circle the wagons to another team, go ahead. You don't belong, really. I don't want people that are going to pretend to be fans of this team without fully buying in, because this team's about to be really special. I think it already is really special. With Sean McDermott, with Brandon Beane having that collaboration of a GM head coach that have prior working experience together, I think that's huge, and I think that was the catalyst for what has taken place, this revival of the team that is happening. There's a clear revival of the team that people are really not understanding enough. There's people that are excited, but they're not understanding that the Bills are about to be good for a long time. And that is what is taking place. And I have no fear in saying that. And the reason why is because I'm there. I saw it. I saw it last season at training camp, and I saw it this season at training camp, which is where a team comes together. That's where a team is built early on in the offseason, training camp. Majority of the features in Buffalo Bills Embedded were things that I actually saw and then some. And who knows who the starting quarterback is going to be right now. Whether it's Nate, whether it's Josh. A.J. McCarron is completely taken out of the race with his collarbone injury. I'd like to see Buffalo bring in another quarterback, obviously. I think you always got to have 3 quarterbacks on hand. You always got to have 3. If not, you're nuts. But you always got to have 3 quarterbacks on hand. But I think Nate and Josh Allen are right there. And I lean towards Josh Allen just due to his physical ability. The fact that this was the guy that Buffalo said they were going to get, that they wanted to build their franchise around. And he is far exceeding their expectations currently, or else he would not have been playing with 1/2s. He would not have been playing in the second quarter of a preseason game, in a week 2 preseason game. Brian Dable, the new offensive coordinator, had an idea what type of quarterback he wanted. That quarterback was big, strong, mobile, and smart. Josh Allen is all of those things. You don't think Brian Dable's thinking that he's got a shiny new toy to play with for the next 5 years? And for all the people out there that are still, we drafted the wrong Josh, movement, trying to create this, petition, we drafted the wrong Josh. Root for another team. I'll never forget you. I'll never forget you. I'll always remember those people. And there were hundreds of thousands. And now those same people are in the Josh Allen fan club. It doesn't work that way. You can't just throw shade at somebody for that long, and then once he starts doing good before you thought he would, then say, oh no, I knew it the whole time. No, you didn't. You didn't know it. Or else you would have said it. Say what you know. Say what you feel. And actually mean it. Don't just listen to ESPN dork number 1 or dork number 2 and say things just because they're saying it. What good is that? What good is that to anybody? Josh Allen has always been the real deal. Everyone is shocked but me. Take care, everybody.